Uh, what is up, YouTube? And bonus Q&A. Been away seeing family, so yeah, not much on the content side of things, although I'm still moving. I've got to move still another 400 blog posts over to the new blogging format. So do let me know in the comments if you've checked that out already. Blog.soundrolling.com. And see what you think. It's kind of better organized, I think. So just wanted to do a kind of bonus hangout Q&A kind of thing, see if I can help anyone with at least my perspective on stuff. Next week is looking pretty good. Working in the royal wedding, which is going to be fun. Probably pretty hectic and maybe getting a bit crazy at sometimes. So we'll see how that goes. Hoping to also get my hands on some Orca stuff. I need to go actually tomorrow upgrade. I realized the firmware on my SMBs, which are the Electrosonics transmitters that go with the SRBs. My SRBs have the firmware to be able to do fine tuning 606.000. So before I can only go up in 0.1, so 0.100. But I need to go up in 0.025, so I need to be able to go to like 606.125. So it doesn't actually have the capability, and I've never needed to use it before. But obviously, with the royal wedding, frequency coordination is pretty insane. The people at PMSE, they are part of Ofcom, which is kind of the body that regulates all sorts of broadcasting things, licensing included. They're very easy to kind of phone up and talk to, and there's literally, their website is maybe slightly confusing once you get on, like with some of the forms that you have to fill out. There's lots of kind of jargon that if people are booking and they don't really understand what's going on, could be a bit overwhelming. But if you just call them up, they're super helpful, and yeah, there isn't like that much of a queue generally, and yeah, you can get kind of specific licenses or whatever. And obviously any specific site license is covered by production, because obviously the production needs to be there, and doing something like a royal wedding involves obviously a massive coordination of frequencies and kind of fair distribution between obviously probably at least most of the Commonwealth and some other countries that want to be there. So that should be fun next week. So that'll probably be next Sunday that I properly update you guys on that, but you can always stay tuned with the stuff. Of course, get in the comments. This is actually live right now, although if you don't see a live icon anywhere, then I'm probably not live. So, but I will still endeavour to answer your questions. There was one for the last Q&A about where I got the clips, custom coloured clips from Pelly. I know some people that just called up Pelly and said that they'd broken one of their clips and they just send it and then they ask you a colour. Pelly, with their kind of lifetime guarantee, kind of really live up to that. So done that a few times for wheels and things. Otherwise, there's quite a few websites. One of the top websites that you kind of Google for just Pelly custom colored clips will work as well. So yes, and I think that pretty much brings us up to date, because I had the last Q&A, I don't know, like 5 days ago. Yeah, so I've just been in Wales for a while. So let me know in the comments wherever they are. Maybe they're up or down, left or right. Who knows? And there's like a minute delay as well. So I will endeavour to get to your question if you've already typed it right now. And yeah, but that's pretty much it. Still on the thinking about also upgrading to SMA antennas for my G3s as well. Thinking about just spending a bit of money all at once just on kind of getting all the gear up to scratch again. It can be a thing of where you buy something for so long, and now a few things needing a bit of TLC, haven't really used that much, not been a problem, but you just kind of want to keep your gear kind of all up to date. So there's that as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Otherwise, just moving blog posts is my recent life with all of this stuff. So Tom Anderson, what productive things do you do on your days off? They're not necessarily very productive. Quite a lot of, if I've been working for a while, quite a lot of it is just normal life admin, as I like to call it. So doing the washing, doing the that kind of boring stuff. Otherwise, I need to get more into the habit of more regularly reaching out to people. It's kind of still very ad hoc, either on Instagram or email or whatever, and just kind of keeping in the loop with what everyone else is doing. Trying to leave comments on other people's social media is actually kind of a big payoff in terms of it's superseding the kind of like now. It's all about the more actual comments you get, you actually have. And trying to look at a bit more like long-term plans in terms of gear, because I've been saying it for a while, and I think I will be saying it for most of this year. I'm going to do my kind of TLC in terms of gear ups, and then it's probably about the next big move of moving into a different way with wireless, maybe. So whether that to whatever the new firmware and bugs and things like that, I think that could be an interesting way to go in terms of just having a product that's future-proofed enough that even if something comes out more bells and whistles, it's probably still going to be fine. I could still get away with the SRBs, to be fair, and maybe just buy another set of two TXs and one RX. But we'll see how it goes. So productive things, not very much. Trying to go to the gym more as well, and just generally, just do more productive things. But the kind of cycle of things is just all about getting work, finishing projects, trying to help people with other projects. So, that kind of normal stuff, really, I guess. I don't really have any hardcore hobbies apart from obviously all this kind of sound rolling business. And I'm not even sure where that's going half the time. So it's all about testing new things. That's why I end up just building apps or building blogs, or redoing websites. It's kind of just a fun venture in itself, and trying to learn a few more things along the way. So yeah, that's pretty much what I do on my day off. Trying to get a haircut, although really hard to get a good haircut around here. I moved to a new place, and I don't know, hairdressers are that great, or the barbers, I should say. So maybe I need to go to a hairdresser instead of a barber. But of course, with 7 people watching, get your comments in, get your questions in. I don't know. It can even just be a comment. Julian Kraus, Matt, Howard. Oh, now they're all coming in. Maybe my internet's really slow. Hey, Matt, what would be your preferred method for mixing a lav under a t-shirt, for fixing a lav under a t-shirt? So I like to the skin, ideally. I base it off the actor. I mean, if they're kind of smooth chested in terms of not hairy, then using like a Bumblebee stick, or Bumblebee, whatever they're called. I forget what the sticker version of their stuff is, but that sticks perfectly. Or if someone's a bit airier, then you can actually use a chest, a lav strap belt thing that I've done before. And if you want to fix it actually to the t-shirt, because let's say the t-shirt has a fan, if you're doing a quick setup, it's really easy to just stick to a t-shirt with something like an RM11, and you can use the Bumblebee or you can use a Rycot. And if the t-shirt isn't just like thicker cotton like this, then you can actually just stick that straight to the t-shirt, still going for the middle, center of the chest, and with that poking up the top of the RM11, sounds pretty good. But obviously, if they're doing any running, that kind of thing, you want to obviously keep that in mind with what your kind of positioning is. But that's kind of 3 easy steps to miking up people in kind of different scenarios for that. So 1D Film, what is your trick for wiring talents with rustly shirts, suits when time is limited? It is very hard. Sometimes, especially people with beards and they have a tight collar all the way up to here, kind of starchy, going to have to be stuff they do. I've even boomed boom shirts and loud. It's like you can hear them like moving around, like they're made of, I don't know, like they still kept that like thin tissue paper in their brand new Armani suit. But generally, the trick is trying to make sure that those don't rub together too much, and trying to put your mic in a place that's kind of far away from that, into maybe you try and hide it in a tie, and then you try and get some separation here in the collar. But again, time limited, like super, yeah, it can be super tricky. In terms of following up from you saying about you can use the buttonhole mount, but it depends if they've got a tie, because if they've got a tie, it's going over all the buttons, so it doesn't make it that useful. But maybe you can poke out of the tie. Ideally, you try and get them to loosen everything a little bit, and then maybe that can sometimes help, because if things are really, really tight, then obviously any movement, basically all that kind of vibration is going kind of straight through, as opposed to being dissipated through the kind of gaps, or the kind of stuff like that. So yeah, that's is fine. Shirts and suits. Some people do a little pen trick and hide it in the breast pocket. Yeah, if they're wearing a kind of a two-piece suit, you don't want to have it stuck to the edge of the suit, because it's going to move quite a lot. So I would go anywhere down the center. And again, if it's up here, then maybe you just have to bring it down a bit, not necessarily, but go for behind, back of it. But if it's going to be noisy, it's going to be as their voice is generally near the noisiest bit. So yeah, it's going to be tricky. And no problem. Trying to help the community is what this is all about, hopefully, or at least documenting what I'm doing, and then hopefully I'll improve. The MixPre, what are your thoughts on using MixPre D and MixPre 6 together? Interesting. Using the MixPre D as a direct through to camcorder and feeding line level to the MixPre. MixPre D. I don't know why you would add the MixPre D into the middle. MixPre D. I would. Oh, is this because you want to get X? Is this why you're also adding that in? Because ideally, I mean, realistically, if you can't afford the MixPre 10, but you know the MixPre 10T is the one for you, then I would try and hold off. It can be a really hard thing to do in terms of especially starting out gear and knowing how much to kind of invest or not. But it's all about trying to make it work in terms of, oh, sorry, people asking me other stuff. It's all trying to make it work again within your realms of whatever you're working on. So if you tend to say you're starting out mainly on short films, then a MixPre is fine. But if you see, because you don't want to sell the MixPre, let's say if you already have a MixPre. If you can already buy a 6, then a MixPre D is going to get you closer. I think a MixPre D is already £1,000, so actually buying it new is more expensive than definitely a MixPre 3. So yeah, I would. My inkling is that if don't bother about the D and the 6 together, and because obviously with the new preamps in the new MixPre series, the MixPre D doesn't really matter. And if you really need the 10T and that's going to last you for most of your stuff, then just stick with that, and kind of just save up a bit more for that, because it shouldn't take you that much longer. To be fair, the difference in between the two isn't that different. True about you broke up in explanation. Sorry about that. Have a MixPre D, currently use M70D. Okay, I get it. So yeah, so if you have a MixPre D, and a Tascam 70D, then I would try and sell both of those and go straight to the MixPre 10, rather than keeping a MixPre D and then going into a MixPre 6, having sold your 70. So shooting flying events and want to set up for timecode. So yeah, I would do. I would have that I would get the MixPre 10T is my recommendation based on what you've told me so far. Because it has timecode, it has everything. And that should be fine. Greg Palmer, nice to see you, sir. Are you using the Orca harness? I am still using the Orca harness with the Orca bag. If so, do you use the back rod? Does it make a difference? The back rod has made a fair bit of difference in terms of the weight distribution of having a bag that's the 688 in it with the SL6. I am super tempted by the newest K-Tech iteration, the HSN3 or whatever it's called, just because that's solid all the way through. But I really love the portability of being able to just completely collapse down the Orca, for instance, and just have those two bars in there. So it has made a fair bit of difference in terms of spreading that out. It's all for me. It's less about rolling the shoulders, and that's why I'm going back to the gym actually more to try and just. I'm starting to feel that I'm naturally rolling and my posture's changing, and yeah, that worries me because obviously only being 7 years in and doing this for like another 30 or 40 is yeah, it's going to be killer. So got to keep up on that with the yoga, stretching, and weights and that kind of stuff. So yeah, so I'm still using it. It has made a difference, although more I'm trying to either have it just and if see whether I'm like running, gunning, kind of documentary style. Yeah, I try to put it down as much as possible. Things like the royal wedding, I'm going to be having that kind of fully racked up, and yeah, it should hopefully make a bigger difference than just the soft shell, because that's kind of all put like a 688. So hopefully that's yeah, that's wrapped so far. 1D film. Do you feel that separate panel control as the new Diva will find its way to other manufacturers? Yes, and more likely no. I think although that's useful in terms of, I don't know how far that stretches, but they had this idea of if you had a bigger bag, then obviously the front panel. But I have always gonna. Yeah, that idea is maybe I would say not so much. I would say because of the amount, I say most of the EMG people, they are not. So if you have a Diva and you do, it's very a Diva first off, and I would say that then if you're mixing on a cart, having that come off, I mean, it's much easier to have a mixing desk. So I don't think the other manufacturers, I mean, they've obviously seen it, but I don't think it would be in the kind of pipeline in terms of top priority. Just for the fact of, yes, you can take it off and so like redistribute your weight. But as we're seeing with the Mix Pre 10 and the Mix Pre 6 and that kind of stuff, more and more iterations that are even the 633, they're just trying to be smaller overall. And so having even a panel that detaches probably makes it a bit heavier as well. So so yeah, for long dock days, yeah. But the Diva is like the 16 or something. So you would never usually have 16. The amount having a Diva with 16 who's button being able to to save you is living for a problem in terms of then when you put batteries in and things like that, you don't want to have everything strapped to you, or at least I don't. I kind of like it to be a bit more practical in terms of I can just put the bag down, I can just, maybe dead leg. Kind of completely redistributing kind of main console, sitting down, I don't know, being comfy on long docks. Yeah, is the trick. So lag and stream, well, that's bad. Maybe everything's coming out terribly, I don't know. How can I okay, let me move because it's giving me lots of warnings. Da, da, da. Oh, that's definitely not better. This is better. Back in my room. Okay. Question, I guess. Oh, it's been terrible this whole time, and I didn't even realize. Sorry about that if it's been horrible. Tubestoma. I have a boom scene with 3 people, and I'm not really sure how I can adequately cover them all. Well, that all comes down to blocking, and depending where they are, and lights, things like that. Sometimes you can't, and depending on the shots as well, to cover them on individual shots. If they do a wide shot, then a medium of them, but maybe they won't do that. You want a hypercardioid mic for sure. Probably not a shotgun, maybe even a cardioid, depending how kind of noisy the environment is. Because obviously that wider polar pattern will give you smoother range and you won't actually have to move around that much. And are pretty much that. MKH50, yeah, so that's hypercardio. It's going to be a bit tighter than the cardioid, but that should be perfect. Just being able to just slightly move and be able to get everyone. And then if, for instance, some people are louder because of the even frequency roll off, as in if I have the MK50 here, it's like being to off is only pretty much a decrease in volume as opposed to frequency messing about. Then you should be able to, for instance, go more towards where someone is louder. No, more towards where someone is quieter compared to someone that is. So that's what I would say is rough tips for booming 3 people. But obviously remember coverage. So if it's a wide shot, generally, if it has all of them in, they're all going to be pretty much facing each other. And so planting right in the middle of the group of 3 is probably your best bet. So hopefully that answers that. So I might end this here because it's been like 25 minutes. I doubt anyone's going to get through all of this. And let me know what you guys think about me just like hashing more of these up, and you guys can even get more involved in the. Oh, let's see if this doesn't crash everything. Get more involved in the questions on the podcast as well, and then you can obviously ask all those questions. They'll save. I can play the question back, and then I can answer it. So if you go on Anchor. .fm/sound rolling, or you download the Anchor app and search for me, then you can ask questions there, and I'll be doing hopefully even more of that, as well as hashing up some more sound chats. Oh, it says it does 720 now. Maybe it won't. I think this, unfortunately, the stream has been pretty bad quality for most of this, but I'm sure you can. Oh yeah, better connection, please. I'm right next to there's my internet. I moved to a better connection. It didn't work. Didn't like it. Okay. Well, maybe this isn't going to work then. I'm trying to load it, but maybe me loading it is messing everything up. So let's stop all that. Okay. So apologies about any dropouts. Hopefully this has been useful and you've managed to get answers to all the questions that you wanted. And I will be back for obviously more live hangouts with you guys and girls. Maybe those girls. I don't know. And yeah, so I'll end too bad if any questions got missed. Once this actually becomes a full video, leave a comment down below and I'll answer those individually. Or if you go to anchor.fm/sound rolling, I will re-answer the questions right now, just in case you guys missed them, basically. But then hopefully you can get the value and listen on the train or wherever you are. So yeah, so until next time, that's me, and I will see you